Well, thank you for joining us. I'm Mary Yanez, Director of the Senior Adult Program, and this is Mature Living. And we're happy to be back in the studio again. We had taken a break, doing our shows and recording them, from home virtually. But we're happy to be in the studio, and so we're starting to get our guests. We are very careful. We're still doing very, very good, secure protocols, so that we will keep from spreading the COVID virus. So we're being very careful. And so today, we want to invite you to talk about herbal medicine, about complementary and alternative classes. We're going to talk specifically about something very important, and that is about the medicinal use of hemp and marijuana. And a topic that maybe doesn't come up very often, but we've got an expert here. We've got Dr. Armando Gonzalez-Stuart here, and he is going to talk to us about, his profession. And I think it is a profession because you're a PhD and you've studied a lot on the topic of alternative medicine and herbs and the use of herbs. And you have a consulting business that I'd like to read. You're the director of the Natura Universe Global Herbal Consultants.
Yes, that's correct.
Very
yes.
good. And we'll talk about how they can reach you in a minute.
Of course.
Tell us a little bit about the classes that you teach for our senior adult program and your area of study.
Sure. I'm a doctor of science in alternative medicine, and I have a second PhD from UTEP at regarding interdisciplinary health sciences. I've been teaching with the senior adult program for many years, and we were probably the first in the region to have courses on alternative medicine and also herbal medicine. Those are the two courses we're still teaching.
And are you registering still? Are you accepting students in those classes?
We have a limited amount because of it's in person at the Trans Mountain in Northeast, and we have to keep distancing, and of course masks are required for me as an instructor as well as the students, but yes, we are accepting students right now.
Very good. And we'll give your phone number where they can reach you.
Sure, of course.
And of course, they can also reach the El Paso Community College Senior Adult Program at area 915. That's our area code, and it is 831-7801 if you want to call about these classes. But I want to get into the topic.
Sure, of course.
And you've selected a topic that is, I think, really interesting and important. Other states are New Mexico.
Yes.
Is approving the use of medicinal marijuana. Colorado was one, and what are the other states?
Well, California, for example, District of Columbia, D.C., and there are various other states. New Mexico in April will legalize marijuana. It already has a very good medicinal marijuana program. They have various dispensaries throughout the state. Unfortunately, Texas does not have, for the size of the state, I believe there are only like 4 or 5 dispensaries in the whole state. And so I think that's something that should be augmented. But I would like to talk about not only medicinal marijuana, but also hemp.
Okay.
Because hemp and marijuana are very much related, but they are not exactly the same plant. From hemp, which is legal in all 50 states, that's where you get CBD, cannabidiol. CBD is right now, I guess, one of the most popular herbal products on the market today. And there is a differentiation between hemp and marijuana, because marijuana usually contains large amounts of a compound that's a euphoriant. It's called tetrahydrocannabinol, but let's just leave it at THC.
Okay.
And while hemp actually produces very little THC, and it produces mostly CBD, which is non-narcotic. And it doesn't mean that THC is bad. It only means that, for example, for certain types of ailments, CBD should predominate over THC, which would make it safer. But again, when you use either hemp or marijuana under medical supervision, I think that the therapeutic options are very, very diverse.
What are some of the ailments that are recommending that we use either hemp, the hemp, the CBD oil?
Well, the CBD can be used, according to the literature, especially for both CBD and THC, for Dravet's syndrome, which is a serious condition, epileptic condition in children. for Lennox-Gastaut, another type of disease that has seizures. CBD has been used as an anti-inflammatory. It's been used as a neuroprotectant. It protects the nervous system, as an antioxidant. So actually, when you use the CBD from hemp or the marijuana from the medicinal point of view, when it's used judiciously, both plants can be very, very beneficial.
Yes, and in your consulting business, do you see a lot of people coming in and you're going to show us what it looks like?
Sure.
And, ordering, and they can get them. They can get the products from you as well.
Yes, of course.
And there's some products that are not real good, right?
Well, no, that's a very good point, because right now, since CBD is a very, very popular product, there's a lot of adulteration. There's also a lot of, we see a lot of low quality products that are not third party tested. They're not tested by an independent lab. We don't know what they really contain. And so the products that we offer to the public are third party tested. They're tested by an independent lab. They're guaranteed to contain less than 0.3% THC, which makes it perfectly legal in all 50 states. And people come in sometimes with a with a curiosity of what is this CBD and what's it going to do, because there's a lot of misinformation. On the one side, people say, well, it's made from marijuana. It's not. It's made from hemp to begin with.
Yeah.
Secondly, they say, well, it's a panacea, it's a cure for all ailments. Again, that is not necessarily accurate. I think that there is a lot of potential for that, and so we basically try and educate the patients when we give a consultancy. Consultation. We try and teach the patients what it does, what it doesn't do, and how they can take it, for how long, starting with a low dose, obviously. So again, we try and give the information as best we can. And actually, now that you mentioned the courses in alternative medicine, in the herbal medicine course that we're currently teaching, and hopefully we will teach again in summer, we actually place emphasis on the study of CBD, hemp, and medical marijuana, so that the people, our students, can know exactly what it can do and things that you've got to be very careful with. Because even though I do believe in medicinal marijuana, some people are abusing it, using it mostly for hedonistic purposes, like making marijuana brownies and stuff like that. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're ingesting. The dose is very difficult to calculate when you ingest it. So that's why we have, for example, in the products that we do, they are dosed. You know exactly how much CBD is there. You know exactly how much THC is there. But when people, use marijuana in an irresponsible way, it ruins the whole thing. And besides, the plant is such an important medicinal plant. It's been used for thousands of years.
Can you imagine? Yes.
For thousands of years. It's a plant that's originally from East Asia, from Central Asia. And it's been used. It came to the American continent first to what is now Mexico as hemp, and then marijuana as we know it, cannabis indica, came to Brazil, probably the first country in America to import the plant, unfortunately with the slave trade. And then hemp was, as I said, first cultivated in Mexico, then Chile in South America, and then in the United States in the colony of Virginia at that time.
Wow.
At that time, it was not
That's
the United States, obviously, it was the British colonies.
I even see products, hemp shampoo, CBD oil for pets that suffer from seizures.
No, definitely. For animals, when they're very stressed out, especially when they're fireworks and irresponsible people that like to still use them, you can use CBD in pets. They have the same receptors that we do. We have what is called, all vertebrate animals have what is called an endocannabinoid system, which is basically a whole network of receptors that are very much akin to the cannabinoid products that are cannabinoid substances that are produced in marijuana and hemp.
Yes.
And so basically, they can have very good affinity for us if we use them judiciously.
Yes.
Sure.
Can you show us some of your products that you brought, Dr. Gonzalez?
Well, first of all, CBD can be used in almost any way. It can be a paste. In this case, these are capsules. This is hemp oil. This one gives you approximately 10 milligrams per capsule. There are different doses. I always start the patients with a small dose, and then we go slowly and then increment it, and then we go down again, because our endocannabinoid system really functions more like a dimmer switch, not on and off, but actually you can actually improve the tone, shall we say, of it if you use it slowly at first. You can also use these drops under the tongue. Under the tongue is going to be a more rapid absorption than in the case of the capsules, but the capsules, what they do is that they last longer in the body. So you can combine both. You can take the drops during the day and then take maybe 1 or 2 capsules at night to help you sleep better.
Are these also helpful for anxiety?
They're very, very helpful for anxiety, for post-traumatic stress. In some states, progressive states like Illinois, physicians are now allowed to use both medical marijuana and CBD to substitute the dangerous opiates. The opiate, there is a huge epidemic of opiate addiction in the United States. Is particularly strong among veterans of the armed forces, and now fortunately they are being allowed to choose between opiates and CBD or medical marijuana. You can also have chewing gum, for example, that does contain CBD. Some people like that, and you can even have lip balm, which is very, very, especially now in the wintertime, it's very, very good for the skin. You can also have body butters, body creams. Basic, even suppositories for people who need it. So again, CBD is a very versatile product. If used correctly, as I said, I think it could be an option.
Where's your office, or how they can reach you?
I'm at
where they can reach you, and also a phone number.
Sure, of course. 9411 Dyer. It's at Northgate Pharmacy, which is owned by my friend, the pharmacist, Dr. Kavan. Siama Kavan. We're there just by appointment, and you can call me at 915-345-0741. Or you can reach me via email at Natura Doctor, that's Naturadoctor @gmail.com. And our website is www.naturauniverse, one word, naturauniverse.com.
Very good. And I was just thinking Northeast. We're always getting requests. Do you have any classes in the Northeast? Most of our classes are on the East Side or in Central, and so tell me where your classes are being held and when.
Sure, they're at the Trans Mountain campus, and they're, for example, alternative medicine is Mondays and Wednesdays.
At what time?
From 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. It's in person. And herbal medicine is Tuesdays and Thursdays, again, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the Trans Mountain campus.
Very good. And you're still taking students?
We are still taking students. And some students have asked us, if we could do courses in Spanish. What we do is if we have a person who is more of a Spanish speaker, we do the translation there. So that doesn't stop us. We still teach the class.
You're prophetic in both languages. Very, very, very. And I've seen and I've been in your classes, so I know how you handle questions in any of the 2 languages. Maybe you know more languages, but for the time being, it's just English and Spanish.
Barely.
Oh, Dr. Gonzalez, you've been with our program many years now.
Since 2011.
Can you imagine that? And so your classes have been very popular. Like you say, we are the first ones that are offering these classes, and they continue, and we're going to continue offering them in the summer. But right now, they can still register.
Yes.
Very good. And so, we want to thank you for being here, and pick up another topic, another theme that you would like to talk about, and come back and visit us.
Of course, herbal medicine, alternative medicine is so broad. We can talk about Ayurveda, Chinese medicine, Chinese herbal medicine, whatever the public wants.
Excellent. Sure. So we'll see what the public calls. If you'll call our number, the Senior Adult Program, at 915-831-7801, you can tell us, what do you want to learn? What is the next topic you'd like Dr. Gonzalez to talk about? And we have about 15 minutes to talk, so we can do it.
Oh, most definitely.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you for the invitation.
And good luck in your semester.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll see you in a little bit with more guests.
Here at EPCC, we encourage you to keep wearing your mask and practicing social distance. Please be mindful of others. I take care of you, you take care of me. Let's stay safe. Welcome back, Tejanos. Have a wonderful semester.
Well, thank you for staying with us here on Mature Living. I have another guest to introduce you to, who is not a stranger to Mature Living. I think he's been here before. Daniel Acosta, the director of Immunize El Paso, which is a nonprofit organization doing great things right now. They have several clinics, so we're going to learn all about the flu and all the other things that they do. And so we've got Daniel. Daniel, thank you for being with us. I appreciate your taking the time from your busy schedule.
Thank you for having me. It's a wonderful opportunity to be able to talk about our program and what we do.
Yes. And I was asking you, do people go to your offices, or where do they go, or how does that Immunize El Paso work?
So Immunize El Paso, we're a private nonprofit 501c3 organization, and we have 3 standalone clinics. We have one in the downtown area, one kind of central, and one east side. And we do see quite a number of patients that walk into our clinics or make appointments, but we also do a lot of outreach. We take our clinic without walls into community centers, schools, civic organizations, just wherever people there's a need, and they invite us, and we take our services and provide outreach services in the community.
And your main business is vaccines.
Absolutely. Our name, Immunize El Paso, that's what we do. So that is our bread and butter. And
yes, and that's good. And so you're in 3 different locations. We'll give the addresses later on. But tell us a little bit about the influenza right now, how we're doing in El Paso, and how can people get vaccinated for the flu.
Right, absolutely. So we've had a very successful influenza campaign, even though it's COVID has kind of taken over. It's just the flavor of the month, of the year, of the past 18 months.
Yes.
But influenza is still it's still present, and it's still important to be vaccinated against it. Well, there's not a lot of stories about it, but
we've gotten kind of used to it.
Yes, also there's an interesting dynamic that how the numbers have. There's not a lot of cases or reported cases, but the good thing is we've taken a lot of mitigating factors because of COVID-19 that we used to always stress. Like, I'm not sure if you remember, like what we would stress for people who, so that you wouldn't be exposed to flu. Cover your cough, your sneeze. Wash your hands. Stay home if you're sick. And now, with the face mask, so a lot of those factors have contributed to the a decrease in the number of flu cases or deaths because of flu complications.
And passing it on. So
yes.
So the masks have helped tremendously.
Absolutely.
So we sneeze right into our mask, and then we don't have to use our arm, and so that's kind of good. But we still need to. I still got my flu shot.
Yes. Interesting enough, we've done more flu vaccines this year than we did the year before. Like I say, in right now in this era of COVID just kind of taking over everything or being the discussion everywhere, our flu administration numbers have increased.
Yeah.
And but the people are really interested in protecting themselves.
Yes. And talking about COVID, I know many of us have gotten the primary dose, the first dose. Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson. The people that got the Johnson & Johnson, which was considered the weakest, and that was at the beginning, and now have not been boosted, do they run in danger of being exposed?
I think now with the studies have shown that the protection does wane or it does decrease. So those that did receive the Johnson & Johnson vaccine it's recommended that they receive a booster dose of either the Johnson & Johnson brand, or they can mix or match Moderna or Pfizer.
Really?
As long as it's been 2 months since their primary dose.
Oof. I think it's been a long time, like year, since their primary dose, is that expired now?
Yeah. So as long as it's been 2 months, and so you never restart any vaccine series. So if it's been more than 2 months, it could be 6 months, 8 months, a year, and so they're eligible for a booster dose. Yeah.
Okay, very good. And so you're also, the boosters are the big thing right now, and sometimes they're thinking we're going to get another booster later on. So is this kind of the way of life right now for us until is there an end to this?
I'm
Who can predict?
Right. I'm no scientist by any
Any
standard, any means, but the experts believe that it's here to stay. And I know there is some companies that are in studies to have a combination flu COVID-19 vaccine. So it might be something where it would maybe be annual, like an annual.
Just one.
Yes, just kind of flu.
That would be great.
Yes, because it's very difficult because the science, as these studies progress, it's very hard. Also, when we're trying to explain to the patient, so I always give a kind of disclaimer, like, this is what I know up to today. The information might change tomorrow, but you might see something different, and just please don't think that I was wrong.
And hopefully it's better.
Yes, that is better, and don't think that I was wrong. I was just going by the information I had up to today.
That's a good.
And so
that's a good
that's and that we kind of trust the science and kind of be advocates. Either if you want to get the vaccine, that's perfect. We'll give you as much information as you need. If you don't want to get the vaccine, well, that's your choice as well. But if you want information, or hopefully that we can persuade you to.
Yes.
To
and
do
they're taking it in steps, like in stride, as far as ages.
As with the flu, the highest risk group was always our senior community, those people who are 65 and older, or who are they're immunocompromised, either because of a underlying medical condition or other medication that they might be taking, which suppresses their immune system. So that they've always been like the high risk, the target. And then they saw like, okay, those are protected. Let's go after the 30 to 50s or 60s, and just kind of work our way down. And now we're up to 5 and older, COVID vaccine for 5 and older. And I just read today where Pfizer is being asked to submit some studies for approval for a 2 to 4 year old vaccine. So they, in the studies they have to show effectiveness as well, not just it's not just vaccinate for the sake of for vaccinating. Are they truly effective?
Very good. So registration, how do you register to go to your clinics?
Right. So for us, they can register on www.izep.org/COVID-19. And on there, you can pick if you want to visit one of our clinics, one of our 3 clinics, or if you want to do one of our outreach. Right now we're doing a lot of school-based vaccination clinics, working in partnership with some of the bigger districts, Socorro Independent School District, Isleta Independent School District, El Paso Independent District, Clint, wherever they'll have us, we take the services out to them and make it more accessible, because it's easier to reach like a feeder pattern, the whole community, instead of that either their children go to the school.
Instead of trickling in one by one,
Yes,
you get a whole bunch of people right in that area. And so do you have like vans or
we have the
one without walls?
We have a small fleet of vehicles that we take. Our technicians load up into the vehicles, and they have all their equipment, and they go out and in partnership, like I said, with the school districts or community centers, they set up tables, chairs, because they have gymnasiums, and so why reinvent the wheel? Why if we don't have the resources, we don't have the buildings, so let's work together with those agencies or those organizations that do have the facilities. There's already cafeterias, there's already gyms, so that's how we work together.
And how has the reception been? Your partnerships, how have they been really receptive to have you and set up? And
yes, very receptive, because there is a need, and so not only are they protecting their students, but also their community, because it's open to the public. So, you know, mom, dad, grandma, aunt, uncle, even children, if like older children or younger children that might not be in that school, they're welcome to
Isn't that
to come.
great?
Yes, because like we take a community approach as opposed to, you know, or just waiting for them to come to us.
Yeah,
You know, we take it to them and make it a little bit more convenient.
That is a super approach. That's a very, very good thing that you all are doing. And it's keeping all of us safe. Not only that community, you know,
Right,
Socorro
absolutely.
or Clint, it's all of us.
Yes, and El Paso is traditionally always has higher vaccination rates than the rest of the state. So we always really do good. You know, but, the community has been very receptive to vaccines or getting protected.
That means we have a smart community.
Absolutely.
And so how is your funding? Because these vaccinations are no charge.
Right.
They just have to register and make sure that it's recorded that they've gotten the booster or whatever. How do you get your funding and from the same source that everybody else?
Right. So the funding, we're fee for service, and so the funding comes from the government pays for the vaccine. Okay, so it's provided to us at no cost, but we do bill insurance companies for the administration of the vaccine. So the government has made it to where, okay, there's no out-of-pocket expense for the patient, so that people do come in and it's not a barrier, it's not restrictive to those that that might not have insurance. So if you do have insurance, any type of commercial insurance, we accept that insurance, we accept assignment, and we bill, and insurances pay for the administration of the vaccine. For those that don't have insurance, there's a program, the HRSA, which is it's an agency or department of the Health and Human Services. They have funding to pay for all those that don't have insurance.
I'm sure I haven't asked all the questions that maybe some of our viewers might be thinking about. Ask him this, ask him that. Is there a phone number that they can call you or maybe go to your office?
Absolutely.
Give us that information. Or online or
right.
your email.
So our website is www.izep.org or immunizeelpaso.org. And our number is 915-533-3414. And we have a really outstanding gentleman by the name of Leo Chavez, who takes all the calls, and he can give information or route the call to someone that can help the caller.
Very good.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you all are doing a great job, and I think El Paso is responding because of the work that you're doing and going out there and making it easy for all of us to get immunized and get those vaccines and to stay safe and stay out of the hospital and don't
Absolutely.
get sick. But, you know, sometimes it happens. Even though we're immunized, even though we've gotten our vaccine, some people are still getting sick.
We have to continue to put that word out and to do the work that we do.
And we'll invite you again every time you have a topic or some good news to share. You're welcome to come to Mature Living. Thank you for being with us. I really appreciate it. Of course, we've been talking with Daniel Acosta, who's the director of Immunize El Paso. And we'll see you next time.
Yes,
But we'll see you all next week, okay? This was Mature Living. See you later.